go.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I am Paul, Mr. Clean Warren, having less fun than any human being can possibly have. And this is our first Top 16 episode, featuring me, Paul, Mr. Cleveland Warren, and Cameron, the cameraman.
My name is Cameron Mann.
Yes. So, let me give you the reason why I chose 16, because you may ask yourself, why top 16? Why not top 10? Oh, that's been used over and over and over again. Just look at any video out there, and of course, you're going to get top 10, anything and everything. Top 11, somebody who does this kind of thing better, does this a little bit more than I can ever imagine. Top 12, well, it's been done more than once, and 12's okay. Top 13, that's an unlucky number. It really is. So, you never hear top 13. Top 14, well, Mitch Hedberg said it the best. It's the bastard child of 13. Like, when you go to the 14th floor, that's actually 13 sometimes. Top 15, it's not really that much my favorite number. But top 16, when I was a kid, it was my favorite number, and in some ways, it still is. And here's the 16 reasons why I chose 16. Number 16, the year 2016. Okay, that was a bad year for almost anyone and everyone, including me. I have my reasons. We lost our mother that year. But the summer of 2016 was Cleveland's year. Not only did the Cleveland Cavs win it all, but also we had the Republican National Convention here. And the Cleveland Baseball Club, known as Cleveland Indians right now, almost won the World Series. Too bad they lost to the Chicago Cubs, and so it's going to be a little while longer for us to win it all, at least for the Cleveland Baseball Club. But if they win the World Series this year, then their name is not a jinx. But if they don't, then they should have changed their name a while back. I'm sorry. But that's the reason why that's number 16 on my list. Number 15, getting your driver's license. In many states in America, you can actually get a driver's license. You can drive a car at the time, and the only thing I could drive, unfortunately, at the age of 16 was other people insane. I think I'm driving the cameraman a little bit insane right now. But that's the 15th reason why I chose 16, because of the driver's license thing. Okay, number 14, mathematics. 16 ounces equal a pound. Now, for all you people not living in America or Liberia, we use the United States standards. We don't use metric. If you're in Canada, you use metric. You think metric. But the United States does not much. Also, Myanmar doesn't, but I don't know what their system is. But that's the 14th reason why I chose 16. Number 13, the Renaissance. During the 16th century, a lot has happened. From the discovery of the New World, North and South America, to the Reformation, started by Martin Luther. And that's where we got Lutherans. And right over here is a bust of Martin Luther, right over here. That's the 13th reason why I chose Martin Luther. And maybe the Renaissance, or 16.
So the 13th reason why you picked the number 16 was the Renaissance.
Yes.
Ah, there you go. It's good that you read your own script.
Yeah. See, I already told you about driving other people.
The cameraman crazy? Yeah, it's fine. Just keep going.
Okay. Number 12, Super Bowl 16. During that era, which was the 80s, was the start of the quarterback back era.
Go.
Okay. And it's, we had Joe Montana, we had John Elway, Dan Marino, Warren Moon, and of course Bernie Kosar. Let's get back to the Super Bowl 16. The Bengals versus the Niners. That was a good Super Bowl. And it was around then when the Bengals and the Niners, and actually it was not too far from me, it was when the Super Bowl was in Detroit. The Pontiac.
It's not even on screen. Quit messing with
Okay,
it.
fine. The Pontiac Silverdome. And the Niners beat the Bengals. And they would play again in Super Bowl 23 in 89. But that's the 12th reason why I chose 16.
Because of Super Bowl number 16.
Super Bowl 16.
Okay.
Coincidence.
No, it's not coincidental.
Okay.
It's your reason.
Okay, reason. Number 11. The 16th Academy Awards. That year was 1943. America and the world was going through World War II. And the movie of that year was Casablanca, starring Humphrey Bogart, Ingrid Bergman, and Peter Lorre.
That's who it starred?
Yep, that's who starred.
Okay.
Yep. And it was a kind of an interesting scenario. Some people thought it was the boy meets girl cliche, but actually it was the boy meets girl again and boy loses girl again. Sorry, I spoiled the film for you. But also, that was the last time until 2010 when the Academy Award had more than 5 Oscar nominees. And that's the 11th reason why I chose 16. And number 10 is God and love. If you look in the Bible, there are 16 names for God, such as El Shaddai, Jehovah, a lot of names for Jehovah, Elohim, Jehovah Shalom, which means God of peace, the Lord is peace. And also there's 16 words of love. That's the 10th reason why I chose 16. Number 9, Chicago 16. This was actually their comeback album. When, after Chicago 12, the band Chicago lost their guitarist Terry Kath because after he was cleaning one of his guns, killed himself by accident. But also 13 and 14, those 2 albums did not go anywhere. But Street Player actually wound up becoming a favorite for a lot of samplers, like that Bomb song that came out in the 90s, like the Bomb song. That was a sample of Street Player. But yeah, that was when they were in a slump. But then came Chicago 16, which came in 1982, which brought them back to the top charts. One of their songs was Hard to Say I'm Sorry, which would later be covered by As Yet, featuring Peter Cetera, the bass player. And yes, so
that was reason number 9.
That's
right?
reason number 9 that
reason
I chose.
number 9 that you chose the number 16
Is Chicago,
the band
Chicago 16.
Album 16.
Yes, James 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. And now it's time for our intermission. Subscribe to the Warner Brothers Production Network. Just
It's not what it's called.
okay.
It's the Warren Brothers Broadcasting Network on YouTube.
Yes, thank you. So hit that subscribe button.
And click the bell for notification.
Click the bell for notification.
Yeah, the bell. That's
Okay, yeah, more
ring
cowbell.
the cowbell. Right.
Yeah. Okay. Man, this is getting a rough start, but
Rough start. That's because you don't read the script.
now, so okay, number 8, Pepe Le Pew. One of my favorite Looney Tunes characters of all time. Bugs Bunny's number 1. Pepe Le Pew's number 2. Here. First off, okay, right here. Yeah, he was in 16 cartoons. Well, actually 17 if you include Dog Pounded, which he had a cameo in, which Sylvester paints himself as a skunk and Peppy makes love to him. Yes. And there is a double entendre with Pepe Le Pew chasing Penelope the cat. You can tell what it is. I won't explain it because, yeah, I'm not going to explain it.
We don't want to get shut down.
Yes. The eighth reason why I like the number 16.
It's because of sexual metaphors?
No, because of Pepe Le Pew.
Oh, okay, all right.
Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah.
Number 7, chess. There's 16 chess pieces for both sides. There's the king, which doesn't do much, the queen, which has the most power, the bishop, which goes diagonally, the knight, which goes in a form of an L, one way, shape, or form. The rook or castle goes straight, forwards, backwards, and sideways. But the pawn, there's 8 of them. They can only go forward once or twice. Well, twice one time, but they actually can hit the other player's butts by diagonal. That's how they only capture. And I should play chess more often. And that's the 7th reason why I chose 16. Number 6, both the NBA and NHL playoffs. I'm glad they're coming back again because, man, last year we had to wait till like the summer to see who the winners were. And both leagues have 16 teams going into the playoffs. So it's like for the NHL, it's half. For the NBA, it's more than half until they get 32. But that's the 6th reason why I chose the number 16.
Because 16 teams make the playoffs from the NHL and the NBA?
Yep.
Okay.
Number 5, the Sega Genesis, also known as the Master System, if you're outside the States. Now, I was a survivor of the Bit Wars, which came out in the 90s. The Sega came out in Sega Genesis came out in 1988, and it didn't get into full competition until like the 90s. Like, Sega was great with sports games, and Sega still makes sports games as of today. They don't make systems; they're just third party. But Sonic the Hedgehog was the reason why the Sega Genesis / Master System succeeded. It was because Sonic was the symbol of the 90s. Sonic the Hedgehog. He was fast. He had an attitude that was very 90s like, and he's colored by one of my favorite colors, or my favorite color, blue. So that's going to be another list I'm going to be making. So that's the 5th reason why I chose the number 16, Sega Genesis / Master System, which was 16 bits. Too bad
When you say you were a survivor of the Bit Wars, were there a lot of casualties in the Bit Wars? Like thousands or tens of thousands or millions of people died?
Well,
no.
Sega, unfortunately, did lose the battle.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because Nintendo won, and then Sony came in, which didn't need bits because they didn't mention that. After Nintendo 64, the Bit Wars ended. Nintendo still makes systems. Sega just makes games. And there's some Sonic games on Nintendo. Well, and also Sony, but I prefer PlayStation because they were the ones who picked up after the Sega dropped out of the race.
All right, so that's your number 5.
Yep, number 5. Fifth reason.
Number 16 is 16 bits.
Yes.
Right.
Number 4, the Moody Blues. They released 16 albums throughout their entire 50-plus years of being a band. They have an interesting story. In 1964-65, there were, many people think of the progressive rock era of the Moody Blues, which had the bass player John Lodge and guitarist Justin Hayward. But actually, Future Wings guitarist Denny Lane started with the band, the Moody Blues. After the hit song Go Now, they were in the slump in the mid-'60s then. But Clint Warwick left because he was hesitant to travel. That's like the drummer from Arthur Brown, that was not Carl Palmer. That's another subject altogether.
All right, you're getting a little long-winded.
Okay, but let's just say they had 16 albums. Their final one was December, which is actually a good Christmas album. I heard the whole thing. I recommend it. And maybe a little bit later, I'll rank all their 16 albums from 16 to 1. My favorite is On a Threshold of a Dream. And that's the reason number 4 why I chose number 16, because of the band The Moody Blues 16 studio albums. Number 3, the year 1999. I still want to party like it's 1999. My 16th year on Earth. Okay. There was no Sweet 16, but it really was a sweet 16th year on Earth. I had a lot of fun at the time. I was growing up. I got really into a lot of stuff, like in entertainment-wise. And the thing was, I had a good summer that year, too. It was 1999. And so, as late, great Prince would say, tonight we're going to party like it's 1999. And I wish I could again. And that's the third reason why number 16 is my favorite number, because of the year 1999, my 16th year on Earth. I wish I could go back there again. Number 2, the letter P. P in the English alphabet is the 16th letter of the alphabet. Why do I like the letter P? Not because of what they call the hard P. It's something I could mention something I won't, but there's a lot of good foods out there that start with the letter P. Pierogies, pizza, popcorn, potatoes, pretzels, Polish boys. A lot of great animals start with the letter P, like polar bears, penguins, puffins, pigs, pelicans, pecaries, porcupines. There's another animal that starts with the letter P that look like armadillos. I don't know what they are, but then there's also bands that start with the letter P, like the Pretenders. There's the Proclaimers, obviously Prince, and one of my favorite bands of all time, Procol Harum, which, if you think they're more than just a lighter shade of pale, then you're disappointed, but because they made great albums. Trust me on this one. And that's the number 2 reason why I like the number 16, because the 16th letter of the alphabet, P. And before I go to my reason why I picked the letter,
your number 1 reason
my number 1, right? Yeah. Here are some honorable mentions. Sweet 16. Of course, I already mentioned it, but when you were a girl at that time, 16 was like the leeway between going into adulthood. You're not yet a woman, but you're not a girl anymore. And they have Sweet 16 birthday parties as well. Also, you can actually have a job without any guardian around, or guardian signature and whatnot.
The 16 is when you can get your first real job.
Yes, but I didn't get my first real job until I was 19.
I don't think I've ever had a real job.
Yeah. And here's the reason why 16 is my favorite letter of the alphabet. The letter of.
So 16 is your favorite number?
Yes. Abraham Lincoln, the 16th president of the United States. It was a civil war. There was a lot of strife at the time, but Lincoln brought this country through and through. He's also the tallest president of the United States we've ever had. Also, he it was kind of, all I can say is this. If he would have survived the second term, I think we would have had more peace, because Abraham Lincoln led us through the Civil War. And many times he failed before he became president. But people called him Honest Abe. And that's the main reason why I picked 16 as my number. So that's all.
So those are the top 16 reasons why you do a top 16 list as opposed to a top 10 or top 11 or top 13.
Because then, I could go a top 20, but
that's too much.
Okay, then. So all I can say, that is our first episode. Kind of sucked, but what can I say?
It's only because you started rambling a little, but that's all right.
Well,
you almost did your whole top 16 on Procol Harum in the middle of your top 16 list of your top 16.
Yeah, the other reason I did not mention that it was the hard P.
I don't know why you started talking about a hard P. We're going to wind up getting taken down because you're going on about hard P's.
Okay. That's not what I meant to say about that.
Tease your next episode.
Okay. Coming next Thursday, my top 16 television shows. There's robots, there's birds, there's a guy who rules everything, and a midnight show, which was only in Cleveland. That is what's going to be on for top 16. See you next Thursday.
And don't forget to subscribe to the Warren Brothers Broadcasting Network here on YouTube. Click the bell to get signed up for notifications.
I'm Mr. Cleveland, having less fun than any human being can possibly ever have. You can tell. So that's it.